Lily, Ramona, Kathy live for kicks, but someone's killing for kicks. You will feel their terror. You will see their horror. Death screams. Rated R.
Mary, please, help me get out of here. We can start over. Just the two of us.
Our party is just beginning. You can't leave yet.
You're not still afraid of her after all these years? The stories you used to tell.
They were not stories.
And you're frightened? What of?
On her birthday, she had this special ceremony.
Soon it will be our birthday again. Remember how we used to celebrate, sister dear?
No.
Remember what I did? How it hurt? Huh? I will make it hurt again. I'll make you suffer what I've suffered here. Run! You'll never get away from me.
And there we go. How's it going, everybody? I'm Chris C, the Slasher Dude, joined by my cohort here, Darren from Subjective Perspective Collective. How we doing, Darren?
Not too bad. And yourself?
Good, good. Welcome to Slasher Stream, Episode 3. We're going to be talking about two, I said originally Southern slashers in the in the thumbnail. That's not true. One of them's from North Carolina. That is Death Screams. We're going to be talking about this one from 1982. And then we're going to be talking about 1981 Video Nasty, Italian film done in Georgia. And that is Madhouse, actually done in an actual funeral home that gets turned into an apartment complex, which is very interesting.
Right.
Very cool, very gothic. I can't wait to talk about this one. So, yeah, we got some good ones here.
I've not seen these two for a long, long time. So going back to them, is always fun, especially with these type of slashers as well. They can be pretty hit or miss, but I mean, I actually liked them a little bit better than I originally did. So this is a good start, really.
They're definitely fun. These two are first time watches for me. I'm impressed by both. One, of course, more than the other, and it's like I say, good kind of homegrown type of stuff. Of course, Madhouse. That's a very surprising film to me. For its time, definitely, and for the cast of characters that they have and the cast of people, like production and stuff like that, it's very cool. And Death Screams, very cool about the director, very cool about the producer and stuff like that too. Like I said, this is a great release by Arrow. Arrow kills it even with these releases and stuff like that. The first time I cut the top of the case, so the rest of this is on here. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, was an alternate.
Two slip cases then, I take it.
Yeah. This I think was this might be like an Arrow exclusive, or the one that you have is an Arrow exclusive. Sometimes they do that, like the alternate ones, which I like, but they do slips. This is kind of like the original kind of art. That was the VHS art when it was under a different name, and I forget what
Hates of Death.
The other name was called.
Hates of Death.
Yeah, House of Death, right? And this comes with the alternate opening to that, where it just says House of Death and stuff like that with the same.
I much prefer your cover actually than mine. That does like a little thing like that, but I prefer the white one to be honest.
I know it's like that is a cool kind of crazy kind of alternate VHS cover because that's the one they use for it. But it's like it kind of symbolizes towards the ending of the film, which we'll discuss too, but it is kind of funny because that's not a woman that's really hanging there. It's something else. And,
yeah.
But very good. Then of course, Madhouse, this one too. This one also great release by Arrow, of course. Hashtag Arrow Video Man. And there we go. Alternate cover for that. So damn good. Or the original cover, excuse me. But many people visit. Few ever leave the Madhouse, aka Happy Birthday, aka give me a second, aka
there's a few titles to this, mind.
Yeah.
There was a little
girl.
There was a little girl,
yeah, there was a little girl. I like Happy Birthday. This is a great double feature with Happy Birthday to Me. When we'll talk about that scene at the end that literally mirrors Happy Birthday to Me towards the end. It's so good.
Did this come before Happy Birthday to Me then? Or
this is 1982, so or 81. It came before Cujo,
they were both
for
81.
Sure.
Yeah,
it did come before Cujo, so this is kind of an OG killer dog slasher film you can think about that. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Doing, Holland?
Both of these films, though, both of these films can they might not be the best slasher, to talk about, but they've got really interesting things, that happen in them. Hey, Holland. Yeah.
Gizmo, definitely walk the dog first and stuff like that. But yeah, Holland is everywhere. He's or Mr. Oates, or Mrs. Oates, whoever it is, always helped us out. Always been a cool person, and it's gone kind of off there. So thank you all for joining. Who was ever joining, and just a cool type of slasher stream we're going to start here. So we're going to start out with Death Screams. So we're talking reverse here for years. So Death Screams 1982, directed by David Nelson. If you don't know what the last name is, you best remember. So he's the son of Ozzie and Harriet Nelson from The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which he did produce some of those episodes. He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He passed away in 2011 and stuff like that. The other films that he's been a part of or mentioned in, he was in Crybaby with Johnny Depp. He played the dad of the woman in there, Wanda. He was also producer of a film called Last Plane Out, which I've heard of. Writer was Paul C. Elliott. Producer Charles Isson, I believe. There's a trailer on here for the film and stuff like that where they're literally on the production set. It's so good that the producer did they really hyped up this film a lot. I really like that radio spots, all that stuff back in the day. It's so good. It's so funny listening to the radio spots back in the day. Really good stuff.
It had a regional release, didn't it, in the cinema?
Yes.
I think it was in Fort Worth, Texas, just that kind of a regional release. But it was known, as you said before, as House of Death. It's also known as Night Screams, which don't get confused because
with the other one,
Syndrome
Night Screams, that one.
But yeah, like you said, I think Chris did a lot of homework on these because he watched all the extras, didn't you?
It's like I say, it's writer Paul C. Elliott, producer Charles Isson, special effects artist Worth Cater, Kietter, Good stuff here. It's a gritty, good transfer. It's still a gritty film, almost a Grindhouse-like film, in my opinion. It's very Grindhouse-like. The opening to this is quite long, in my opinion. They stretch it out a bit too much. Stars Susan Kiger as Lily Carpenter, Playboy Playmate, the first Playboy Playmate to be one who did a porn previous to becoming a pinup girl for Playboy and stuff like that too. So she was, I think, the first to do it. Also, Jennifer Case as Ramona, the other hot one. She's also a Playboy Playmate. IMDb had no information on her, just her picture. And that's it. You have to inquire with other stuff out here. That's fine. My goodness. William Hicks as Sheriff Avery. That's the big dude. Very cool dude. Yeah. And Hans Manship as Casey. And Casey's the special needs dude here that has the conductor's hat. We're going to come to that later. Filmed at Lake Lure in North Carolina. First off, as a release from Arrow, this gets an 8 out of 10. This is a great release by Arrow as a release. This is loaded with stuff. They talk to they of course talk to the producer. They talk to one of the actresses that plays the girl that puts the whipping cream or shaving cream on the dude's convertible. She was co-producer in this and helped them out a lot. So that's very cool. They also talk to he's a wrangler. Yeah, nice. Yeah, exactly. And he plays a wrangler. He's the dude that is on the, you hit the thing to hit the bell he's that dude. So he was like, they called him like an actor wrangler. Good interview with him saying, he's like, shoot, they all called me in and stuff like that too to do this. Of course, he has that accent and stuff like that. And yeah, they put me in charge of just like, being a wrangler for the ladies and all this other stuff too. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that job. Why not? Keeping them all niced up and everything like that. So that's pretty cool stuff in here. It's a homegrown slasher. It has that charm from North Carolina. It really does. Like I say, done in Lake Lowry in North Carolina. Very cool. And it's just a fun film in my opinion. So what's your thought on it there, Darren?
Right. I think like the film opens up really strong, I think, with where you got the couple having sex.
Yeah, on the motorcycle.
Yeah, they're kind of by the riverfront. They do an interesting thing as well where, because they both get murdered and then their bodies are like thrown into the water. And you've got this effect, when the credit starts. Yeah,
it just goes all the way down. Yeah, when you see, and that's almost like Friday the 13th Part 2 with the dude in the wheelchair. You see, which obviously is like a doll or something on the motorcycle of the chick, but it looks like just to be one person on there, and they just go like right in the water and stuff like that. So
right.
Hey,
yeah.
James, thanks for coming and saying hi. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, it starts off really well. For me, it kind of like goes into like a little bit of a lull, like from say 10 minutes into like halfway.
It's a little hokey.
Yeah, very cheesy.
Very cheesy.
But
I
love, and this is not a bad. I'm not saying it's a really bad thing,
Yeah.
I like low budget slashes, but I will say the last 20 minutes it does pick up, and it's when it gets into that mode where it's just kill after kill after kill.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's really good towards the end. But I like it. I think it's. I honestly think it's one of the. It's not going to be for everyone, but I think it's one of the like little underrated. You could kind of put it on as a first feature if you're going to do a double bill with Friday the 13th or something,
Oh yeah.
Just to kind of get you in the mood.
This would look great in a projector, in my opinion. Like a drive-in. It's definitely a drive-in type of a film for its time.
Yeah, on 35mm, it look amazing. But yeah, I think the characters, I really like the characters in this.
Yeah.
They all, like you say, there's a couple of hot women, obviously, that's always good. Yeah, there's a group of like, basically, you got the death of the first two, and you've got kind of this group, then they all end up going to this carnival. It's like, the whole group, you've got like the coach kind of comes there as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, with the tennis looking like preppy. There was a carnival going on at the time, or there was like it was there, so that really helped them out. Just perfect timing for a lot of this stuff. There's some stuff, of course, that was filmed later. When that scream starts, one of the actresses is the one that's screaming, which is a good high pitched thing. I wonder if they in tune that with it when you see that where it goes like that and it drops and you get the drops of blood. Yeah, basically, originally, of course, the producer and other people here wanted to have the couple having sex in a car, and then it was going to be, it's the typical almost Lover's Lane type of situation, for I understand, where it's like the killer is supposed to come up with a sickle, and the hand would be chopped off with the window open and stuff like that, and like that would cost too much money. How about we do it on a motorcycle? I thought that was pretty funny. Like you said, you start out with the scene like that, which is done really good. It's very dark, so I suggest you watch this film with like no light kind of showing in there. It's kind of hard to see some stuff. Yeah, they're all just doing the do right there. She's hot as hell. They know what they're doing with this one. They got some nice ladies in this. And
who's the blonde one from early on in the film? I'm trying to think what her name is now. The blonde?
You're talking about the stars here? Or Susan Kiger shows up later, her character, and then I forget the name of the opening chick there. Yeah, but it's basically she's all like, just doing her thing and, sounding all hot and sexy as she is. And then and that is funny. That is cool. You see the bike moving a bit, and he's like, I love you. It's like going, maybe you should get out of here and stuff like that. The typical thing. they're near train tracks. So I like the opening of this video where it shows the train tracks, and then he's like, wait, here it's coming, right? That's what he says, which is kind of funny. He's like, look, they're both looking up, it's coming. You see the train go by, then you see them, they're all bleeding and stuff like that. They're all together. You see a garrote was put around their necks. Barely see it, but it's there. So
it's like, yeah, it does suffer a little bit from it's very dark in places, because this was on VHS mine for this only recently come out from Arrow. When I say recently, like the last few years, you know.
Yeah, that's a find. Yeah, it's a good find. Almost like a lost tape.
You could pair this up with the Funhouse, I think. In a double feature. I think that would work. But yeah, like you say, I really like the characters. I think that scene you just mentioned, like early on, is probably one of the standouts, because I do like the effect of the dead bodies, because they get washed down the stream as well.
As through the picture, yeah, you just see him floating down and stuff like that too. So that was pretty cool.
Basically, yeah, they all kind of building up to go to this big bonfire in there, you know, a bit later on in the film. And that's when all the shit starts to go down, basically.
Yeah. It's
and once all that starts, I you know, it does kind of turn into like a really fun little slasher, like. And you've got to say, you know, the Sarah character, you know, when she's shot, you know, with an arrow. And she manages to like stumble around, doesn't she, and finds herself in like this abandoned carousel.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, because they had to do that shoot. They had to do that shoot later, much later. Like it's kind of like in a different location. I think it is. You can kind of tell the difference there.
Yeah.
But talking to her, because she went back after the film was done and stuff like that, because they asked her to come back just to go through some shoots or go through the stuff, and she's like, sure, I'd be more than happy to do it. Former model. I forget her name, the actress's name, but like you said, yeah, she's sitting there. We'll get to that, but yeah, he's sitting there. All of a sudden, you see the way the arrow is placed is interesting, and I understand why they had to kind of do that, right? It's like up here, it's like on the top of her shoulder. I'm like, dang. So yeah,
exactly, pretty
good.
The suffocation must have been some kind of like homage to like Black Christmas, I would imagine.
Right, they were going to originally, they're originally going to do something different, I think. And that was just all ad-libbed, and that's a great shot. That's a great shot on the carousel. That's a damn good shot. I mean, she played that good. She's literally like this on the horse, like this, and just going like, you know, like that. I'm like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So that was brought in later then. They filmed all that later then.
Yeah, they filmed some stuff later. Yeah, like they do with like a lot of things. Yeah, basically this couple is killed. You get introduced to the Sheriff Avery, played by William Hicks. I've seen him in other things. Going into the store, because he's which is funny because there's this other chick I think working there, played by Susan Kiger, I believe, or somebody else. Probably another pretty lady. I'm sorry, I'm kind of messing up names. And he's like, have you seen so-and-so? I can't find him and stuff like that. He's supposed to be here and stuff like that. You know, it's like, oh, no, I haven't seen him, stuff like that. Well, he's fired. He's like done or something like that. But then something happened, you know, it's the typical, you know, whatever like that, where she's like, or whatever, says something or something like that. He goes, on second thought, it's okay. Just find him and tell him to get his butt back here. You see a kid reading a Hustler magazine. Now,
he tries
it's either, I think Susan Kiger is on there or one of the Playmates is on there, and that's from 1981, I believe. They mentioned that when I looked on IMDb and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty good. He sees that, he goes behind him, picks him up, and goes like that. Yeah, get out of here. What are you doing like this? I forget what he says. He says something, makes you mind dumb or something like that.
Yeah, makes you go blind, I think he said.
Yeah, makes you go blind. That comes into play later, which is interesting. It took me a minute because, like I say, trust me, this is low tier slasher. I love it, but this is way low tier. There's a lot of shit kind of going on. You're like going, what the hell's kind of going on here? It's almost like a WTF type of situation, you know, but it does get explained a little bit afterward.
One that you can't really like highly recommend this one, I don't think. But like slasher diehard fans, I think, I would. But someone who just likes all the good stuff, like The Burning, Friday the 13th,
Oh God, yeah.
Prey.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they would like.
No,
You
like
know, they might
high
like
tier
the
guys
last
like yourself
20 minutes.
here and myself,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's definitely fun. Trying to find out what happens there. Then we get introduced to Susan Kiger and all these people. They're playing like a baseball game or softball game. We get introduced to the Casey character. He comes out of this fence area, right? And
Yeah.
they have these like all schools still and stuff like that. It's like a bushed area with a fence there. You know, just goes in and you can tell he's the Job type of a person, or, you know, special needs type of a person. And he's just sitting there with this conductor's hat, which I forget. He's just sitting there like watching them and all this other stuff too. So
he's like into train sets and like he's basically got a mind like
they go, oh, look, Tracy's, look like that. Casey's over there. Why don't you introduce yourself to him? So we get introduced to Kiger's character. We get introduced to Ramona at the diner where she's a waitress, and there's a interesting banter between her and the cook, the guy that runs the place, where he's like, or something like that, like little rides or something like that. And she tells him, I'm more into the bigger rides. And I'm like, hot damn. And he knows it. I'm like, hot damn, dude.
Yeah. She basically plays like the slutty character. Like,
oh, yeah, the big one. Yeah. She gets called out on that later. Yeah.
Yeah. But Casey, the mentally challenged boy, they do explain what happened to him later on in the film. But he's kind of set up to be you think he's the killer, you know, because he's so kind of creepy, the way he just creeps up on people. He's watching a lot of them, and he goes running off on his own. But you know,
they did say a lot going on. They did say on the extras, this is a little bit of a take on Five Little Indians or something that it's called.
10 Little Indians.
Like that. Like who done it? You don't know who does it, and you find that out. We'll discuss it in this film. Stuff that happens where you're like, makes you think, well, who could be doing this? So, you know, interesting stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, like you say, probably going to end up spoiling this. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, there's no issue here. I'd still recommend seeing it. It's a fun watch. Definitely a fun watch.
So Avery, the sheriff, then finds out we find out that he's basically the father to Casey, the mentally challenged boy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
And there was some kind of car accident, wasn't there, that went on?
Right, because with Lily, she's taking care of is it her grandmother? I think it is, or some
it's her grandmother.
Yeah, who's in a wheelchair.
I've seen that actress before as well.
Yeah, I've seen her before too. Really good stuff like that. Taking care of her. She mentions an incident, I think it was, because she never knew who her mother was, I think it is, or something like that. It's just a quick story she tells.
I think it was the father. She didn't know who the father was. And her mother
didn't know who the father was.
Yeah, her mother died at giving birth to her.
Yeah, giving birth to her, stuff like that. Sorry, it's like, because it's kind of muffled conversations that come like out of nowhere. And she's a cool old lady, typical grandma type of a person. It's like, because they all go to this fair. Basically, you get introduced to mostly all these characters at this fair. You get introduced to, I forget his name. He's the comedic asshole. You know, the comic relief, as they like calling him. Just doing all that stuff. They just do stuff throughout this carnival. It's like going, oh yeah, and by the way, we're going to go to the I think it's a surprise. I don't think they know at the time they're going to the graveyard and all this other stuff too. But you know, they just go to this carnival and then plan on having like a party. They're like college students, aren't they? Because I know they're not high school kids, but it's like
which is way
too old to be high school
of weird
kids.
Because they associate like they're really good friends with their coach as well, and like he's into like younger girls as well, isn't he? Because
he's really funny. He looks all preppy and shit like that. That was the worst idea ever for him to have that stupid sweater, like a tying thing. He looks like a tennis player, a preppy tennis player.
And some of the group, like there's one guy in the group. He looks like bloody Bon Scott from AC/DC.
He does, like, a big dude. Yeah, there's one big 40 dude and stuff like that. Yeah, Scott,
literally looks about 40, man. Which is quite kind of funny in these.
I mean, there's scenes where they're going they're going up around. It's and they're just inviting these people, but you really get introduced to all these characters, like I say, at the carnival. The sheriff asks the group, "Have you seen so and so? Have you seen these two people?" While the idiots are like trying to smoke a doobie in the back, acting stupid. Fun tropey comedy, right? He swallows it and all this other stuff too. Obviously the sheriff has a problem with Ramona, a big one. He straight up.
She was part of the car. Yeah, she was to do with the car crash.
To do with the car crash. But he straight up just calls her ass out. I'm just like, damn, dude, like hardcore stuff. And he's like, well, you all have a good day and just tell me if you see him. The coach goes past that one place selling stuff with the one chick with the short hair.
That was his ex-girlfriend, I believe, in the film.
Ex-girlfriend in the film, and
because he kind of tries to get it on.
She tries to come on with her. She tries to come onto him and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, he's talking to Lily, so talking to her, and she finds out about that. She gets pissed off, and she's like, "You timing little prick." So she takes shaving cream. That has to be what it is or something. And it's a convertible, man. And she puts it all over that. He finds it. She like bolts and stuff like that too. Yeah. So he just takes it's like a towel or something that he has. And I'm like looking at that. I'm like, well, you can't wash it down because it's a convertible and you're a dumbass because you don't have a cover on the car.
Right. Yeah.
And all this other stuff. But that kind of starts that out. The coach.
He's a weird character, the coach.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. But as the sheriff is talking about what's going on or the carnival's going on, you see the bodies of the two people. And those are dolls, by the way. So those are dolls that you see at the top part because he has his head down and she's like right next to him and stuff like that. Still good. I like that idea of them still being there. I'd like not going nowhere. They're just going down the stream, going down the lake, and all this other stuff too.
That's done really well. But that Ramona chick, she ends up like at that Neil Marshall's, the coach's. How she gets in, I don't know, because he's in the shower, isn't he?
He's taking a shower and all this other stuff too. When she happens to be there in a shirt where you see those tatas like in full frontal, awesome view. Sorry there, ladies. Anybody in the chat? She's very, very pretty. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, he turns her down as well, which is crazy.
He does, because he it almost looks like that because it looks like he's getting ready to go down on her and all that stuff. She's like, whatever, like that. He picks her up and puts her in the shower and turns it on. And he's like, get out of here because I basically know what you are and all this other stuff too.
Yeah, she's basically known as like the town slut, really,
Yeah. But she leaves, and he basically gets ready. First, we go back to the lady, to the girl that all messed up the coach's car. She's just still running. Then she kind of stops, and that's a kind of cool scene. So she lifts up her leg and takes that whatever bandana that's on there. I'm like, oh man, my goodness. She's a former model. That actress is a former model. She states that she's a former model and stuff like that too. So I'm like, okay, just puts it all up on there and just sitting on that stump for a minute. Nice, white kind of dress or whatever you want. And then you see that thing, like it looks like right in the back shoulder, like that. And she's like, just came out of nowhere. And she's like, well, first off, let's go back when she's spraying the dude's car. Casey is there. He's there behind a tree, and you don't know. He's like looking at that. He's like, stuff like that.
He said that to be the killer. Like they tried to set him out to be the killer.
Yeah, they did. Like when I really look at that, I thought maybe they would change that up. But and then basically going to her, like still running with that. She takes it out. That's why they probably purposely put that there because there's no way you're putting that. Yeah. So I kind of get that. So she takes that out. They go back to another scene where, she's all like bloodied up, losing blood and all this other stuff too. And then she basically goes on. I don't think the ride is on, but then it turns on. I think she's kind of like on that horse, kind of looking or something like that. She
Yeah, because
gets
it's
on
like
it.
it's abandoned carousel, so it's not
Abandoned
worked for
carousel.
years. Like, but then
All of a sudden you see like you say
really
with Black Christmas, and that was all improvised. Of how maybe that would work, and see the killer go in the back with the plastic bag like that, and then that's it. And then you just see her sitting there like this, going around. I'm like going, oh, that's the money shot. So
it's definitely probably one of the creepiest films in this, creepiest scenes in the film. Apart from like we got another one coming up later.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but that's when it starts to get good, I think, from this moment on.
Yeah. But you go back to the coach in his house. He's getting ready to leave, so he goes into the garage. And my parents had a garage like this. You have kind of like a top area where you can store stuff, right? Not really steps going up there. He hears something.
Right.
No, a ball drops, I think. Like that. He sees it. So something's upstairs. He basically goes up there, looks, and you don't see it. You just hear like a thwack or something like that.
It's like we see like a knife swing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes like down like this.
Then it cut.
Brad mentioned that one time in the stream that he was doing with Pops and stuff like that. And I mentioned that you and I were watching this and stuff like that. And he goes, yeah, that's an interesting film because the way he holds way the killer holds the weapon and doing like a lot of stuff like that. You're like, yeah, like, it's
plus at this point as well, now we're thinking that the Neil Marshall character, the coach, is dead as well, because that's what
because he's dead. Yeah.
Think.
The sheriff goes there. The sheriff goes there, I think. I forget why even the sheriff is there. And
no, I just think he just turns up, doesn't he? Just out the blue. I don't think they explain it.
Like,
they don't explain it.
But basically, with that it's like he's just around the car and something like that, and something drops.
It's a body that drops, but we don't know who it is.
I always thought it was either a body or a head. One or the two drops. And then that's all you kind of know about that situation, where it turns to the little Indians thing, where it's like a whodunit, where it's like, okay, who is it?
They all start getting knocked off one by one from this moment onwards. Yeah. But we, like you say, we don't know who that was who just come down, the body had come down. We don't even tell you or anything. We just presume it's the coach. Like that's all you
just
can
presume
do.
It's the coach.
But they all plan to go to this kind of like bonfire then, things definitely turn like proper slasher wise, from that moment on.
It is pretty good. Yeah. Go ahead, Darren. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you got the Sandy girl. She goes skinny dipping on her own late, in the lake. I like
because the other dude, the comic relief, is drunk off his fucking rocker. And
right, yeah.
It's like going, oh, really, dude? It's like right there, dude. She wants a piece, dude. And you're like, dude, really? You're going to give up that?
Just too far gone. But it's a great shot with the two dead bodies wash up beside her. And then she has her like throat slashed, doesn't she?
Right. She gets up. You kind of saw that in the trailer. Like that. Yeah. That was pretty good, where you see the thwacking, you see that blood kind of go, she's like, like that and go down. That's a good shot because I think they had to redo that scene a few times. I'm sure it's cold in that water. I remember talking to one of the producers and stuff like that too. And director Nelson kind of said it. It's like, just give her time. Like I say, these films aren't meant for everybody. Going up there full frontal naked and stuff like that, full on naked, beautiful lady, and going in that water and stuff like that too. But she did a great job. She turns over right, and she just happens to be where that it's kind of like a river where the rocks are at. Yeah, and then you see the bodies just stream up right next to her. That's really good. Where she's like, she backs up real quick. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. It kind of turns into like a Friday the 13th like sequel type thing from then on in.
It was during the craze. That's why I love slash 80s. Of course, is my all-time favorite decade for horror, just specifically for the slashers. It was the decade for slashers, so people were pumping these out, seeing which one hits.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them fell through the cracks, like this one right here. So
I've done extensive research on the slasher film, and there's not many now that I don't know about. But there were literally and are literally hundreds of them.
Yeah,
Like,
hundreds, thousands, just like Shallows and all that.
Probably over 1,000 easily. That was
Yeah.
made during the 80s alone. But yeah. It does take a good turn, I think, a bit later on, you know, because
what is it? The Ramona goes with that one dude again and stuff like that. He's not having her shit.
Yeah.
He's not having her shit and stuff like that.
That's the one who looks like he's 40 years old. Walker, I think his name is.
Yeah, Walker, the all ripped up dude, basically, and stuff like that too. And because they're all by the lake and stuff like that. And then it's let's go to this graveyard, right, and stuff like that. And the comic relief, he's sobered up. And so they do this good almost like seance type of thing where they're all sitting down, and it's a Skeletor mask that he has on. I noticed that where he's wearing this top hat and all this other stuff too, and he says say this and say this, pretty cool type of stuff. And that's when Lily tells a story.
I love that story as well.
Yeah, go ahead, Darren. Just going to.
I was going to say that could be like a slasher film in itself, just a story. So there's a story of this girl being stalked by this maniac. She basically had this dog that was under her bed, and it was kind of protecting her late at night. But she heard like dripping. She kept hearing dripping. So I think she even puts her hand under the bed, you know, and the dog licks her hand. So she thinks, oh, I'm safe type thing. But then she finds out and she sees that the dog's basically had its throat ripped out, slashed. And in the bathroom, written in blood, was Maniac's lick hands too. And I thought it was really cool, man. Just the way she, like, you know, put that story over. And...
Yeah, something happens where it's like scared the bejesus out of them.
Yeah.
Drip.
Right. And it's all done, you know, late at night in this cemetery. And I think,
the good scene and stuff like that. Then it starts pouring out of nowhere.
Right, because that's in the story as well. Because this was with the story she told, it was raining really hard, and then it just starts raining, and then that creeps you out even more. Then you're thinking,
they go into what is it? Yeah, it's an abandoned old school house that doesn't have a bathroom. So
right,
because the one comic relief, of course, he's like sitting there. They all have a fire going and stuff like that, just all chilling out, and he's like, man, I have to go, you know, makes it rain. When it rains, it, you know, makes me want to go to the bathroom or something like that, you know. And he goes, there's nothing
his name's
in here but
Diddle, I think. Yeah, the
Diddle,
comic relief character.
Yeah,
Diddle,
comic relief.
Yeah.
He was originally supposed to play the Casey character, and that didn't happen.
Okay, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. And then so he basically so he goes out in the pouring rain. He puts, what is it, like over, he lights a candle or something like that, or something that's a light, but he puts it under, he puts the coat or something that he has underneath that while it's like pouring down rain as he goes to the outhouse.
Right, yeah.
There was he goes in there and stuff like that, you know, just being his whatever comedic funny ass self or whatever it is. There was a raccoon in there. That raccoon, I think, bit somebody. Is pretty no, I think it bit him. I think it bit him a few times. With that and stuff like that too, because it's like an animal that they put in there, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Got to remember, it's a wild animal, kind of little stuff like that. And then it kind of switches off from that. You don't really see anything. While everybody else in the cabin is like going, okay, let's scare the bejesus out of him. Let's play a trick on him since he's in the stall or something like that. You know, just open it up while he's taking a shit so we can like surprise him. All of a sudden, it stops raining, right? All of a sudden, it's just like you just get that potential, you know, North Carolina, I'm sure it gets downpours like for like a second and then just kind of goes. And they go there. They open up the door. That's where he's hanging. He's dead. That's when the shit hits the fan, in my opinion.
I think that's more, that kind of not seeing him die as well is kind of more effective because all we do is see him hanging upside down.
They've done that with slashers in the past. I do like that where, like Friday the 13th, the original, the dude goes into the cabin and he goes, hello, you know, but that one was interesting. When
I first saw this, right, so on the old UK DVD, some of the scenes are put in different places to what they should be. So I'm thinking
Okay.
like a couple of the kills were early on when they should have been later on. And
Right.
it's kind of, when I first seen it like that, it's kind of like jarring to watch because you can't really make out what's going on. So this time, you know, I could see, you know, it was all done in the right order.
They did that for like effect. They did that too with the Final Terror. They put an opening kill scene in which had no purpose in the film whatsoever, just to add that whole aspect of it. Yeah, I thought, that was interesting.
But you're right where you say the film does get really interesting then, because you get all kinds of shit now. You get like
they take them down. You know, they take them down. They take them down, and then they take them. They put them in the cabin. Or in this house that just happens.
Yeah, but he's already dead.
I think it's like a funeral home, to tell you the truth.
Right. Yeah.
And then they close that. Then
Walker tries to get help, doesn't he? He goes out to his vehicle to get help.
Yes, he tries to go out to the vehicle. Yeah, to get help.
And then that's an interesting scene.
Yeah, he gets sees the killer, tries to take him out. He gets chased down. He ends up in an open plot. And then he puts his hands up trying to get out, and then you see the machete go down and just like chop his hands off. I think it's one of the producer's hands are there, but that's pretty cool. You see the hands kind of fidgeting there and stuff like that, and he's just like like that, and he's dead. Yeah, I like that.
But there's a decapitation scene before that as well.
Oh, that's right.
Like the one guy goes out to his vehicle, and he gets decapitated because. Like,
that's right. That's right. The head, like right there.
His girlfriend goes up and
it goes in there. That's trippy scene. She sees it.
Kind of pushes it.
Terrified, and then she goes, like that. I like that. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Oh man, I think that's one of the great.
That's right. That's when he goes out and sees them. He sees both both the heads together.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like from then on in, it's just you got the cemetery, like you say, you got the guy who gets his hands chopped off. Done really well considering it's like low budget, you know. And then we find out, of course, who the killer is. Then you got the big reveal, and then I don't know if you want to say all this, but basically one of the characters early on who you thought got knocked off ends up being the killer. It's up to you whatever you want to say.
The Casey character is playing with his train set early on in the film. He likes trains, that's why he has the conductor hat on and stuff like that too. Playing with the train set. It's his aunt, I think it is. It's the friend of the grandmother. And he's like, something happened where she messed up the dude's car, Coach's car, and all this other stuff too. Then she tells the story, like, you know, that, like, I think she says in so many words that prostitution is bad, it's filthy, it's no good. Doesn't tell the whole story about that. And says, okay, and stuff like that, trying to and then he disappears. And that's when she calls the sheriff and saying Casey's missing. He's like, I don't know where he is. I don't know where he went. And you realize they're terrified of it. That gets very interesting towards the end of this. But yeah, it turns out to be Casey. Does he have a mask on? I forget. You
mean the killer, Joe?
Yeah.
It's Neil Marshall is the killer.
Yeah, Neil Marshall. Yeah,
the coach basically. But there's a good scene like that. He has them all trapped in this abandoned house, and that's the scene I think that was fucked up in the UK version. I think they did this ass backwards in the UK version. But so we find out the killer's Neil Marshall, the coach. Lily slashes his throat with a broken bottle, like the glass.
Or it's a razor blade she has. So she finds a razor blade on the thing, which is a trippy scene where she just goes up because you don't see it. You don't see her kind of do that, or maybe it's a quick thing right near the window.
Yeah. And he ends up fucking this dramatic fall through the window.
Yeah. You find out basically
that just to kill him off, the sheriff shoots him.
Oh God, that's so funny. It's like a balloon being blown up, which I think that's what that was. It was like a balloon as his face.
Right.
It's like he goes overkill on it. He's like, boom, 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 boom. With the with Ramona character, they're going up the steps and she falls through the steps. And they're trying to get her out and stuff like that too, but she basically gets chopped in half. So as they're pulling her out, you see like these guts for a quick second, and then the guy drops her. He's like, oh, that was pretty neat. That was pretty cool. And it goes back to his history, showing like this brothel where it's these prostitutes and all this other stuff, meaning that he was molested when he was younger by his mother.
Right. Yeah.
And that kind of caused his whole hatred with, all this other stuff too, thinking this is bad, all this stuff. How dare she do this to him and all this other stuff too. Yeah. He falls out the window into the shack. That's when the sheriff comes in there, opens it, boom, like that. You see that's a kind of good kill there real quick with a balloon or whatever it was. And you see it go like that.
Yeah.
And it cuts off to, like I say, with Lily's character, with the whole ending kind of scene here with all the stuff. Go ahead, Darren.
I was going to say the last shot of the film with you basically get all these kids who were at this bonfire, the ones that were killed in the water. You basically get to see all them lying in the water, dead, and then the end credits roll. Yeah, man, it's I think I messaged you last night, and I was saying I was finding it a little bit hard to get through the first hour.
Yeah,
but the last 20 minutes, half hour is fantastic.
There's a scene with the sheriff and because the sheriff sees Ramona going out of the coach's house. That's it. So he's there and that's when they have a little conversation where he's all saying, "Yeah, why don't you just do whatever with me," and stuff like that, and mentions the accident and stuff like that too. And
you got
basically, I need to get the hell out of this town and stuff like that too. F this town type of situation, dude. Yeah. What is wrong here? So that kind of added a little bit to what's going on. I kind of like that interaction between everybody. But with the an actual police officer
Dirk's in the chat. Sorry, Dirk's in the chat. He's just we'll get to the chat.
I see Mr. Hall and Brian is in here. Thanks all of you. I'm going to get to all your comments here in 1 second.
We'll get to them. Yeah.
Just like I said, this was filmed at Lake Lord, North Carolina. Beautiful place. Definitely. Yeah, this is very cool. An actual police officer was used, as you see him taking those pictures at that end, kind of like it's a crime scene. So they asked the actual police officer to do that, to kind of add to it a little bit. So I thought that was
okay. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, basically, I forget what he says. Is why would he do this and stuff like that? And the sheriff says, I have no clue. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay. So it's almost like a Halloween type of an ending, where it's
where would you rank this? So say you've got your top tier, you've got the Burning, you've got the Prowler and all the good stuff. Your middle tier, I'm trying to think of what I would say. I would say something like a Final Exam, and then you've got the real bottom of the barrel stuff. Would this would probably be in the middle for you then? I take it.
It's C tier. If we're going like A, B, C. This is
C tier.
It's C tier. I put this with a Final Exam. I would put this with Who Done It. I'd put it.
I'd put it.
And I really like Who Done It too, but I like them. I'd even put, and I really like Evil Laugh. I'd almost consider Evil Laugh B tier, but it's a lot of fun. It's just in this great category for these. Like I say, these northern slashers are good.
Kind of a known
Carolina type. I don't want to call them southern slashers. That just doesn't sound right. But from that area, it's like the Town to Dread, Sundown from Texarkana, places like that.
Yeah, maybe I should have asked you another question a different way. So, what out of 10 would you give it? Rating? Yeah.
It gets a good solid 5 out of 10 for me.
Oh, I think I liked it a little bit more then, because when I originally saw it, I give it a 5. But watching it last night, I kind of upped it to a 6.
Yeah, very good. Like I say, first time.
The last 20 minutes is great. I know.
Very good.
But you could do a lot worse. You could do a lot better, to be honest, than this. But I know Brian, in the chat, is a big slasher fan. I'm not sure whether Dirk has seen this or whether Dirk would like this one. I don't know.
Just getting into but yeah, like I said, it's a fun film. I recommend it as a slasher dude. I recommend it. And Darren, I know you recommend it and stuff like that. But it's a fun one. Like I say, this was a great release by Arrow. I mean, this is a loaded with special features. It is loaded, and they all just do a great job. But a fun film done by a very cool, interesting directed. Again, rest in peace, the very late, great David Nelson. Like I say, son of Ozzy and Harriet. You can't beat that. Comes up with this great stuff. So,
right.
Yeah,
I mean, whether I would recommend it, I don't know. I would to Die Hard slasher fans, but I don't know whether I'd recommend it to more mainstream.
More mainstream ones, maybe not so much. But you and I's cup of tea, basically, for this awesome community that we're in.
We got Madhouse to go, man. Yeah.
Saying hi. I could agree with that. We're going to get to that film. I could agree with that. Like I'm talking to Darren about this, Italian directors are different type of cats. They just are.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even look at it like that. But yeah,
the cinematography is very giallo or very Italian. You can just tell. That's why I love this style of filmmaking. You can just tell. Yeah, it has that feel to it. And it's American kind of like slasher and stuff like that. Like that's how it goes.
Hey, Russell.
Go for EG. How's it going, Russell? Of course, Brian, thanks for
hey, Brian.
Brian. Grats on 1,000, I think it is he just got. So
nice, man.
So very, very cool. Yeah, congratulations to Brian goes boom. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's very good. Very good. So yeah, Tex Arcana, stuff like that. A good video Dirk did too on those locations of Creature of Black Lake. That was very cool. Was it Oil City?
That video's doing really well for the channel as well. Because I like the way narrated it as well and talked over it. People love that shit, man. Like location stuff. So
yeah, people were saying
if Dirk gets a chance, he's gonna do the Time That Dreaded Sunday, and he's gonna try and do the locations for that.
Hell yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, me too, Brian. Yeah, like I said, I don't like doing kind of like tier stuff and stuff like that too. But it's definitely a fun one.
I like some of the Z tier slashes as well. Some of the really bad ones. But
and some of these directors didn't do films like this afterwards. So it's cool finding these films where it's like, okay, yeah, this is that's pretty cool.
You've got to know what you're getting into with these as well, because much. The next one, Madhouse, is obviously I would say is a lot better made film, you know. But yeah, if you know what you're getting into and don't have high expectations, then Death Screams, I think most people could get some kind of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up is Madhouse from 1981, aka There Was a Little Girl, also aka Happy Birthday. So this was filmed in Kehoe House 123 Habersham Street, Savannah, Georgia, which is a funeral home that gets turned into an apartment. Has a very gothic feel to that. I really like it. So Madhouse in 1981, directed by Ovidio G. Asantis, I believe. He also was a producer in. He was also the producer of Tentacles from 1977 and Beyond the Door, which
which is a completely fucking insane film. If you've never seen Beyond the Door, then I highly recommend it for all the wrong reasons.
So he was the director. Also, writers Stephen Blakely and Roberto Gandas. So the lead actress in here was married to Stephen Blakely, I believe, for like a little bit and stuff like that. Patricia Mickey as Julia Sullivan. So go ahead and start us off here, Darren, about this. Awesome film.
I will say that the music is actually done by Riz Ortolani as well, who did Cannibal Holocaust theme.
Okay, that's a great opening. It's like Rockabye Baby. Dude.
So yeah, just a little bit of a backstory of this one. It was on the Video Nasty list, and it was banned in the UK November 1983. I think it's one that I've seen before. I'd seen it uncut before. But yeah, like the budget was like $2 million. And it was released in Italy as well in 1981, like 2 years before America, which is kind of like, interesting. But yeah, where do you want to start with this one? I do think this is the better film out of the two.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, first off,
so we've
with
got
the
the
extras, because they do
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
to the
you can.
director. They do talk to the director, and yeah, Dirk would like this. He is a fan of The Shining. A lot of the people that were part of this film like The Shining a lot. You can kind of tell by the camera work that he's a big fan of Kubrick's work, as we all are. Also, he was born in Alexandria, Egypt, and then of course his parents migrated to Italy and what have you. Cinematographer Robert D. Ettore Piazzoli, I believe his name is, also extra with talking to him about this film. He gives you a little bit more info on the film itself, with the dogs that were used and other stuff like that too. Great cinematographer. There's great shots that will come up too. So
Yeah. Like you say, the music to the opening as well, with like Rockabye Baby Day, because what happens throughout the film, there's kind of like child themes, like
yeah,
music
there's
going on throughout.
big tone.
And like you say, I'd love to know if this was made before Happy Birthday to Me. They must have come out round about the same time, I would imagine.
Yeah, Dennis Robertson as Father James, that dude.
Oh man, that guy,
great actor.
honestly,
great actor.
this performance by like that guy is by far the best thing in the film. I mean, his over the top portrayal of fucking a killer is just brilliant. And
Patricia Mickey plays a good part here.
know?
She didn't really do a lot of stuff after this. She is very pretty. Boy, and she just kills it as this part. It's crazy.
You know about Trish Everly, who plays Julia? Yeah.
That's her other name. Yeah, like what is it? Yeah, it's Patricia Mickey as whatever like that as Avery,
Right,
because she was married to Stephen Avery or Stephen Blakely, I believe.
So you've got like the female Anya. So you've got a great shot with the young girl in the kind of rocking. It's kind of she's rocking, and then we look closely, and then we can see like it's twins. And then you've got the other girl rocking in the rocking chair. But she
Mary.
she ends up stoning us. Like one of the twins ends up stoning the other.
Yeah, that
think
comes
that
into
was
play later.
That had to be like The Shining, yeah, with the two twin girls in The Shining.
Yeah, I think so. And just like it was just like like I said, when the film goes on and stuff like that, it harkens me back to the start of the film with that scene with her hitting her with a brick or whatever. Stuff like that. I'm like going, well, wait a minute. So
I think that's a nod to The Shining. I really do, especially after what you said a minute ago.
The opening is nothing like I've seen. I thought the opening would be different, but it wasn't. It was not what I expected.
It's unsettling. Like it's more unsettling than anything else. It's like kind of because you got that theme going, and then I don't know the thing with the twins because we don't know how that's going to pan out as well. But she's basically Julia Sullivan, so she's a school teacher, right, for deaf children.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that done in a film, really.
Yeah. She kind of had this really strange bond with her twin sister, but no one's like she hasn't seen her twin sister for like 7 years. She's locked up in some kind of insane
mental institution.
Home. Yeah. So her uncle basically arranges for Julia to go and visit her sister, she got some kind of like severe skin condition as well.
That's why it says like a sickness
in the mental health.
That uncle, Uncle James tells her it's like she really wants to see you. And I said you're coming over because her birthday is coming up and it's around Thanksgiving time. So you see stuff for Thanksgiving. So this is a Thanksgiving slasher as well.
So it starts off as well because we basically get like a countdown of the dates as well. So you get Thursday, November the 6th, 5 days before Julia's
like
birthday,
Halloween,
and it goes down
right?
and down as we get near. Yeah, there's a lot of little nods in there if you look closely. Like there's loads of little nods. So Mary is the sister who's in the insane asylum. It's like This one's just really creepy, I think. I
It's
don't know why it's
extremely
on the
creepy.
video nasties list though, unless we'll come into a couple of scenes a bit.
It's
later on.
very creepy and atmospheric, very Italian, gothic atmospheric. The shots, like I say, everything when she visits her in the room where she's at, and you see all these clear curtains in a row. That is done so well. I'm like, dude, this is it. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, no. Her sister Mary's like basically says to her, doesn't she? Like, she tells her she's going to make her suffer the way she's been suffering herself. Because then it's implied that Mary used to do these horrible things to her when they were children together.
Yeah, she talks about that with yeah.
So you've got the whole backstory with the two of them, which is done well, I think. You know, it kind of
with her
sets it up well.
boyfriend, who's boyfriend's what, a teacher too, or something like that.
He's some kind of psychiatric doctor type guy.
Because she tells him the story where, and go ahead, you go ahead and start with that, Darren, too. The story that she told about her sister. So
Mary, she basically had this vicious dog, and this dog would obey Mary at every command. So it's kind of, Julia was kind of like always freaked out by it. But Julia felt like Mary was kind of, she was under Mary's spell because they're twin sisters, and it's kind of, you got the old, telepathic thing going on because they always say that they twins.
And what is it? The mom died in childbirth or something like that, or
I think so.
Sister, by the way. So said she
and
loves
this guy
so very much, and all this other stuff too. Yeah. Creepy.
He's one creepy son of a bitch. His father, James,
has to be a priest. I'm like, dude, this guy.
I mean, the first time I saw this, I got taken in. I thought, he's a nice priest guy. He's.
We'll get to that scene too in the church and stuff like that when he gives his sermon.
Yeah, but it turns into all kind of weird things. This one, you could even call it like a dog slasher, of a kind. There's tons going on, different little genres going here and there.
It's definitely a nod to Halloween because it's a mental institution and all this other stuff too. But like it says, since they're identical twins, it's not just her birthday; it's Mary's birthday as well.
Right? Yeah. And like she's basically escaped as well. We find out she's escaped from this insane asylum.
Yeah.
Which kind of, like you say, the Halloween
same car.
Influence.
It looks like almost the same like car Michael Myers uses and stuff like that. It's like all black,
It's unmistakable, the Halloween influences.
Oh, yeah. I think it's cool. Yeah, no issue with it.
Like Dirk said, the Italian Giallo influence is kind of, they're all there.
Yeah, it's the music, the way they all talk to each other.
Riz Ortolani doing the same track as well. It's crazy. But so you've got Julia. She starts getting, these anonymous phone calls. We got like a POV shot of someone in her apartment as well. And we know, at this point, we know Mary's escaped. I think like it's implied that Mary's escaped. That security guard gets attacked early on, doesn't he, by this black Rottweiler?
Actually, he's actually a dog trainer, of course, training that dog. You can tell when the dog was attacking him, like I say, great extras on the disc, attacking him. He has his arms up and stuff like that, but does what the Rottweiler does. Man, beautiful dog, but man, nasty dog. And
it's done quite well. I don't.
Did great. Yeah.
Yeah, like some people could say, "Oh, it looks a bit hokey." I didn't think it did.
No, the shots were done very well for say an animal attack type of a thing and stuff like that. Yeah, takes him out, and then you see the back door open of the car. There's all like kind of like smoke and stuff like that, mist and shit. I really like that. He's like, you see the dog go in there. And I think she says at that time too, "Good boy." And stuff like that. So it just closes the door, So.
Oh yeah, and then, like you say, you got, you see someone's hand come out of that mysterious black car.
That one hand. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know who it is, obviously, at this point.
Yeah.
Then you go on to the next day with 4 days to go there, and you go on to the Friday, November the 7th, and I think that's the time you find out that Mary's properly escaped.
Right. Father James calls her in and stuff like that. Like she's
the
hospital.
Got that Chinese.
And she knows. Yeah, because she can feel the same stuff. She states that too.
I
feel what she feels. we're
And that's the big
thing.
giveaway for me. Like when that line, that's kind of a giveaway that becomes later on. We find out, but Mary, like basically this Chinese handyman's like trying to.
I think he's
It's kind of
Japanese, but
funny,
yeah,
yeah. It's
Chinese. Yeah.
like comic relief in a way, I think.
Oh, he's extremely
Um,
funny. It's like he has. I don't like to use that word, but it's like he's getting older there and he's starting to lose memory a bit and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's fixing with the breakers. Like, oh, I'm just fixing this. I get stuff cheap from my whatever, and I just do this and yeah.
Right, yeah. So he's trying to fix something, and like, oh, he's just really creepy. He just turns up. She don't know why. Um, but then after the like Black Rottweiler scares him, and she basically says, because we think it's Mary, like, you'll be another guest at our party, like, and like
Yeah.
basically he's gonna.
Well, that's what it is because he's getting it's like concrete or something like that. This person, I don't know if it's a man or woman, is helping him and stuff like that. I think it's a relative. He's like, leave me alone. I can do it myself. Leave me alone. I can do it myself.
Yeah.
Puts it all in there. He sees the dog. Well, first off, and then yeah, go ahead there, Darren. I'm sorry, I'm kind of skipping here a little bit.
No. So yeah, so we find out then it's like someone's been watching Julia, and her boyfriend Sam, and we kind of think it's Mary kind of hiding out in the house because we don't know because we see POV shots. Obviously, again, she's been, she's escaped. And then we move on down as well. Then so you got Sunday, November the 9th, 2 days before Julia's birthday. Julia introduces Uncle James to her like pupil Sasha. She got like this little boy
pupil,
taking his time to.
Yeah.
This
who likes her, sends her a note, like, because you get introduced to her blonde friend. I forget her name.
Right, yeah, like her neighbor, I think it is.
Her neighbor and stuff like that. You see a nice good shot of her like in her yoga gear or whatever it is. Very pretty. I think she's like a fellow teacher or something like that. The school says, oh, he wrote me a note talking about his family and his brother and stuff like that too. That's when she starts to be taken aback a little bit, knowing that he likes her. Yeah, so.
Right, yeah. But yeah, because her boyfriend's, I think it's Sam, isn't it? Her boyfriend.
Yeah, Sam. Sam Edwards.
So he's basically set up this little kind of getaway, didn't he, to San Francisco, but for Julia and himself. But like she's really nervous and she says she doesn't want to go. So it's he says basically I'll go on my own then, so like she keeps getting disturbed late at night, like Julia, doesn't she? Like keep getting these disturbances.
There's a point where the boyfriend Sam doesn't believe her at first. I think they have a conversation, but then he goes, I want to show you something, and there's claw marks right outside her door. Claw marks that looks like from a dog, and she's like, oh God, it's like something is going on here and all this other stuff too. And so he's trying to help her out, see what happens, because he has to do his boss, I guess, tells him he has to do like this presentation or something like that somewhere.
Yeah,
so, kind of toward that.
Like time. That comes into play later on, doesn't he? Because he loses all his notes when he's getting his car.
Yeah, that's a weird scene, and we'll get to that. We'll get to some of the weird scenes in here, but yeah, go ahead.
But Sasha, then the boy, right? So the little deaf boy. So he basically is attacked, and it's
he leaves his house, with his mom. He's all saying goodbye.
He's doing the old frisbee thing, isn't he? With the dog.
With another dog.
Yeah.
And there happens to be this bush, right? So he flings the frisbee. The other dog tries to go over there and get it. Then you hear some rustling going on. Then you see the dog just bolt. Like you're like,
right,
oh,
yeah. You're like a dog whining a bit, and
yeah,
it's kind of unsettling.
Very, yeah.
But the way I like it, so Sasha gets killed basically by the Rottweiler, but they do it. They don't show the kill on camera.
I like that. I like that they didn't do that.
I think it's better that way. Because
the way that dog looked, I think they put plates in him or something like that. I think they said because they can't keep it like that. So they put something in the dog to make it like do that and stuff like that. Yeah. All safe type of stuff. I know with stuff like that, they had a couple dogs used, and the producer said it and the cinematographer said it. He said those dogs were watched at all times. You did not leave those dogs alone at all because they're trained to do that. You did not leave those because he said they were mean dogs. They were mean dogs.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Because they're trained like that. It's crazy to think that. Yeah. You see that look and stuff like that. And he's trying to be whatever with that. Yeah. Then you see the scene. Unfortunately, it's messed up. There's the dread that comes in for that. You know, you see them taking him away. Then you see her there and she's like, oh. You know.
They won't go as far as to like kill a kid on camera as well.
Yeah,
I bet that was kind of taboo at that time.
Yeah, because it's mentioned that Sasha can't make it. His mom won't let him come, or his parents won't let him come to the party. So
yeah. So Julia obviously thinks it's Mary doing the killing, and that's when she comes out with the line, "I am what she is," like, and then you think, shit.
That's what harkens back to that scene of the sister beating the other sister with the brick. I'm like going, you know, seeing that face basically turn to mush there.
Yeah,
in the rocking chair or whatever. Yeah.
I thought they were gonna do a blood rage on us. I thought basically Julia should have been the one in the mental asylum. And
Thanksgiving slasher, another one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Italian
I'm
version
glad
of it.
they didn't do that. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that. But yeah, Julia tells Sam then she can't go on the trip. But then we just get these POV shots of just someone's watching her at all times. Because that's right. Because Sam then asked Helen, is her friend. He basically asked her to
Could you watch her tonight? Yeah, can you watch her tonight? Because
kind of.
She's like, sure.
Yeah.
There's a scene where her and Sam are like kissing outside. That's when Mary or whoever hits the light and it makes a sound, and he goes, and we saw that kind of in that opening trailer where he's like, somebody there. It says, oh, it's probably because we get introduced later to the landlord of the place. I forget her name. Saying my
landlord Amanthea. I think it is.
She mentions that this hotel was a former because they're trying to fix it up because it was a former funeral home. So this has been in my parents' generation forever. It's like they came over here from whatever, just did this, did that. She's like all this positivity, like all the happy one and stuff like that. Very cool actress. She's been in some stuff. Very cool actress. Good interview with her on this disc right here. She talks about it and stuff like that too. So I like that. Her room is all like, all immaculate and all this other stuff.
What do you think of the death scene of Helen, though? So she's staying over with, Julia.
Oh.
But then she gets spooked, doesn't she? And she kind of like goes outside the apartment.
Yeah, she goes out, said nothing to do. She's trying to play around with the cat, and the cat wants nothing to do with it.
The cat runs
she opens
off,
the door
right, yeah.
because she hears a voice calling her name out, like going like.
It's like a female voice as well. It's really
female
creepy.
voice. Yeah, like it's her, like it's Julia, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's when she kind of goes out and the cat escapes, right? She's like, shit, or something like that. So tries to get the cat. That's when she goes up the stairs.
Yeah. It doesn't end well for the cat either because he's strangled.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got like the Rottweiler then attacks her.
She sees the cat like first, I think it is.
Yeah. And, she gets attacked on the stairs. I think it's a brilliant.
Yeah, she falls like real quick and tries to get up. That's when the dog
Was you surprised with that kill, like the amount of blood they show? Because it's like it's off the chain, man. Like
it's definitely it's the premiere kill of the film. It's what that alternate or that regular cover looks like, basically. Like like that.
It's an amazing scene, I think. Like
it's a great scene and stuff like that.
The whole build up.
She was doing that for a while. That dog was all up in there.
Yeah.
Just doing that.
The amount of blood in that scene is incredible. Like, and I think that's why he's probably on the video nasty list. That's when you see the mysterious woman or whoever this is.
Like she says, good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy. I'm like, damn.
Right. So we're all kind of moving up now every day, kind of.
That's when Julia wakes up and stuff like that, and it's her birthday.
It's actually a birthday, yeah.
Because she doesn't know what happened to her friend and stuff like that. Is like, where's whatever? Oh, she probably just left and stuff like that too. So I'm like,
you think she's just gone home? Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody moved the body. So somebody's been moving this stuff because you don't know about anything other than Sasha's death. What's going on here?
Right. And then this is where the fucking whole film changes.
Yeah, this gets turned on its head, in my opinion. I did not see this coming. This was the first time I did not see it coming at all.
No.
I had some suspicions. I thought maybe it was going to go in a different direction, and it didn't. It didn't go in the direction I thought it would. Like, I'd say the direction of House on Sorority Row, but it didn't go that way.
Yeah. There's no way I would have guessed what was to come, because so you got the landlady, right? She
she's all walking.
Right? She helps Father James because he's got this big fucking
big sack. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah.
I know. And this is where it just completely goes fucking left field, right? So he's carrying this, we know it as a dead corpse now, but she doesn't know. So she says, I'll help you.
We're wondering which corpse it is or something. It's like, who is it?
It's the security guard. It's the security guard. It is. Yeah. But he turns into this. He starts singing "Ring Around the Rosie" and all this freaky fucking way.
Yeah, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm like going, what's going on here?
Yeah,
they don't explain that well enough for me to take his character seriously. They do, but they don't explain enough, and we'll get to that. They don't.
No, because it just happens. This. He just goes completely.
Yeah, he goes crazy. Yeah, he goes crazy.
But I like that. He starts chasing her around the house.
Yeah.
He's singing like Old King Cole and on. She's hiding.
With a very old soul, and a very old soul is he. Oh yeah.
I mean, that guy just nails his character completely. But she loses her shoe, doesn't she, when she's trying to get away, and he picks the shoe up and he starts.
Yeah, this is drawn out pretty well.
He goes Cinderella, like that. It's creepy.
He takes the butcher knife. Or it's a knife of some time and puts it in one of the rooms there and just puts it underneath there and grabs her out. Yeah,
in the attic, I think it is. Yeah, it's in the attic. But we see him stab her, but part of it is in silhouette, which is done really well.
She goes back to her room, her unit in her place.
So Dennis Robertson, like we said earlier, brilliant as Father James. One of the best, creepiest killer performances I think I've seen.
Yeah, because
in a slasher.
She thinks she's safe in her room. She's all in her chair going back, and then you hear him kind of singing, and he says basically it was fun while it lasted, but now the game is over. Great shot. You have this curtain right here, so it shows her silhouette. The only thing that was different, and he basically stabs her. The only thing that was a little bit different was the blood that they used wasn't enough because it's just the tip that has it.
Right, yeah.
Other than that, that's a great kill in that film.
Oh man, yeah. Very stylistic as well, I'd say, the kills in this. Which you wouldn't think.
It's very stylized, very Italian.
You wouldn't think that, though, would you? From a 1981 type of run-of-the-mill slasher, which I guess people would say this is, but I think it's a lot better than that.
Me too. Oh no, there's a lot of layers. There's layers to it, to your point. The way the handyman is killed and stuff like that too. His eyes are wide open when he gets stabbed. It just comes out of nowhere. It's like this, and he's just like that, and then she just he just falls down.
So basically, Father James ends up. He gets Julia, doesn't he? He blindfolds Julia, and he says,
because he sees her and stuff like that. He goes, "Happy birthday! I have a surprise for you." And I'm like, yeah, she's like in the park or something. And then
he leads her to
takes her back. Takes her back to the funeral home that's an apartment complex now.
Right, yeah. He sits her down, doesn't he, and then he removes the blindfold. And then you've got that great scene where, Happy Birthday to Me is exactly the same, isn't it?
Everything's just like they're all surrounded. There's a cake. He gets a cake. There's a scene where, because Sam asks if he can stay over or just to get ready. The speech that he wrote, he has 2 copies, so he's leaving one for her. And then there's a scene after he takes a shower and he's all in the mirror and stuff like that. All of a sudden, Father James comes out of nowhere, like in this black turtleneck. He's like, "Oh, hi." And I'm like going, are they in cahoots? And
you kind of think that.
Is this like a cult thing or something like that? It's like really weird. And it's like, "Oh, hi, thank you for coming," and stuff like that too. It's like, "Can you stay for the cake or something like that too?" "No, I'm sorry, I can't." He goes, before he leaves, he's like, "No one ever wants to stay," and stuff like that too. He comes back in, he's like, "Oh, got my suitcase."
He's gonna kill, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you say, it all turns up like the ending is great as well. So basically, Mary turns up as well. From the insane asylum, um, and she's like Father James and Mary. They start taunting Julia. At like a
She
birthday type.
basically says it like she says a scene. It's like, you know, like you wake up from your nightmares. I don't wake up
Right.
from my
Yeah.
nightmares.
Yeah.
Every day is a nightmare for me. This right
Yeah.
here and stuff like that, just to wake up. He introduced it to the dog. It's like going, here's the one. Oh, he handed out the invitations to everybody, and basically he said, poor Sasha couldn't join us. His parents wouldn't let him go, and all
Right.
this other stuff
And
too.
the way he's doing, like, he's
Because
insane.
she's
at this
taunting
point.
her, so like I've waited for this day for a long time. All this other stuff too. She
Right.
finally asked the
So-
question of like, why are you doing this? And I'm sorry, it's an asinine excuse in my opinion.
Do you
But
think
go ahead,
the whole
just kind of
insane?
explain that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the whole insane, like, because everyone in that family seems to be insane, or two of
That's
them?
what I
anyway.
mean. I do like the
So-
whole family thing. It's like
Do you think it was
they mentioned that
genetic?
at the end,
Yeah.
almost like Cobweb, like I'm always here.
Right.
You can't
Right.
escape family. You can't escape me. I'll always
But-
be here for you. Yeah.
Again, it turns completely fucking left field, right? Because out of nowhere, he just starts stabbing Mary
Yeah, he
in the
kills
back.
her. He kills Mary.
Man,
But he
yeah, I
has
didn't
to.
see
It's
that
like going.
coming.
It's like it's easy to kill. It's like going. It's just so easy to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. Why won't you do it and stuff like that too? And he just does it. He goes, like
That's
this
right,
makes-
because she said she's scared of dying, didn't she? And he said there's
like, are
nothing
you
to
scared
it.
of
Like,
dying? It's like there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
And that's when he kills her. And so you think, yeah, all this other stuff too. But that's when Sam comes back because the cab gets a flat tire at this park, and there's like this scene, stuff like that. I really have to go. I really have to go. Kind of being an asshole dick about it. I really have to go. He puts his papers up there, and I'm like, okay. And then it's the big win type of thing. He goes, I have to go back to whatever like that, and then he kind of realizes what's kind of going on.
Oh man, what happens when he gets back, man? It's great. It's fucking
God.
great in this film. With the
Yeah.
dog fucking. So
He
basically,
finds his way. He finds his way
Yeah,
through
yeah.
that room. Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
I was gonna say, so basically the black Rottweiler dog, like when he gets back, starts to attack him. But it's done so, like, you can say it's funny in a way, but again, The Shining, right? So the dog actually gets his head through the door. Again,
Kind of
another
makes me
nod to
think
The
this was
Shining.
part of the reason why it was banned in the UK as Video Nasty 2 is this scene that's coming
Oh
up right
god,
there
because of
with
this
him in the
scene, yeah,
drill.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's trying to, like, it's weird because it's like he doesn't want to get away from the door. The dog is almost basically hanging there compared to where,
Yeah.
which is even more kind of freaky. Of course, it's like an animatronic type of a head. Grabs it's like, I'm thinking, I'm like going, and I'm sorry, everybody, but the dog's like, I'm almost like at the TV. I'm like going, just break the fucker's neck. Excuse my French, but yeah, just break its neck,
Right, yeah.
man. And he
Dirk's
takes
gotta
the
go.
drill.
Dirk gets message. He gotta go. Like, so I'll see you later, Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk, take care, my brother. Thanks for dropping in,
sorry
saying
about
hi.
that.
Always
Sorry.
appreciate it. Appreciate the support, my friend.
Yeah,
and he just goes.
It's a fucking insane scene. Like,
Yeah.
because like the drill and a lot. Oh man. Yeah.
Didn't
it
get
has
no
to
blood
be-
on him. Didn't get no blood on him.
Right.
and,
Yeah. But it has to be why he was on the Video Nasty list. That
Oh,
scene
yeah.
alone. Because they're animals. You can't hurt animals or kids, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't.
so-
Yeah, that's it's a no bueno situation. But yeah, like I said, this was before Cujo. This is a great, like you say, animal attack slasher type of a film because basically Mary uses the dog, her servant, to do most of the killing. It's almost like they're connected in a way too.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I do want to say Sam was played by Michael
Yeah.
McCarey, I think.
Yeah,
He's
McRae.
really good. He's really good.
He's a good actor. He looked familiar from other
Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen
that he's
him
done.
before somewhere. But
He almost looked like Powers Booth when I first saw him. It's
Right,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, the way
That
they
kind
look
of-
is really
kind
kind
of
of
look.
kind of alike.
I didn't think Trish Everly was great, if I'm honest, as Julia. I think it's kind of like not a great performance from her. But the other two, the boyfriend and the killer, kind of make up for that.
Yeah, like you say, it's the ending scene where she gets out.
Oh yeah.
I think he tries to, because he puts Mr. Father James puts the knife up to Sam's throat, brings him back and stuff like that, and she gets a hatchet, I think it is, or something like that, one of those small things.
It's like an axe, I think.
Yeah, axe, and just goes to work on him. Goes to work, like, overkill? No, I don't think so.
This is gory as well.
Yeah, he deserved it. Yeah, she gets all bloodied up, kind of off of that. So he's dead. He dead.
But then you think everything's like great, everything's gonna work out well, and then Mary just comes back to fucking life.
Right.
Like, and starts, just one type.
Well, that's why she tries to grab her and stuff like that too, and then she just hunches over. That's a good actress for that. Just goes over, he just hangs there on the stairwell. Basically,
it's
almost
almost like an aftershock of dying. Really, you kind of just spasm out.
And she says that before she dies. She's like, I'll always be your sister. I'm always here. I'm a part of you.
Yeah,
right.
You'll never be free. You'll never be free.
Yeah. There's a good shot, I think, before that where she goes against the wall. Right. It's that typical thing. She goes against the wall and she's all bloodied up and she's thinking about it.
Yeah.
And
oh man, yeah, this one's interesting, man. And people who haven't seen it, I highly recommend this one.
Just the Rockabye Baby is so creepy. Like, Rockabye Baby,
play the credits, because they do end with a quote by G.B. Shaw as well.
Yes.
Life differs from the play only in this: it has no plot. All is vague, desultory. I think it's I can't read my writing for that. Unconvinced till the curtain drops when the mystery unsolved. A quote by G.B. Shaw. But I mean, yeah, you've got that Rockabye Baby.
That incorporates this film to a T, because you really don't know why. It's just like I said, this is up there. This is a good solid 7 out of 10 for me. This is good. This is. I'm happy I have this release. I like this film a lot.
Yeah.
It'll probably grow the more I watch it. I like it a lot. Dirk made a good point. He likes this more than Happy Birthday to Me.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I can agree.
It was still a 6 for me. It was like a 6.5 out of 10. But again, as what happens with all these reviews, talking to Chris now and everything, and I've got to thinking about it a little bit more. It's gone up a point, I think. It's definitely a 7.5, I think, which I'll have to alter on Letterboxd.
It's a great double feature for Happy Birthday to Me. It's a great double feature.
Perfect.
These go hand in hand together. I don't think this film is in its own kind of category as birthday slashers, really.
It's very unique as well.
You can even put this with double feature or triple feature with Blood Rage. I mean, it's a Thanksgiving type of film for that, with Thanksgiving even, to make it a quad feature. I mean, it's crazy.
Or if you want to go even more mad, De Palma's Sisters as well.
Yeah, Sisters. Yeah.
That would kind of work, I guess. I suppose
that was the so like I say, for the opening of Madhouse, I was thinking that it was Julia who was doing the killing. I thought maybe it was her.
That's what I thought.
She's the cause of her system's malformity, but they never explained that at all. Exactly. And that's the whole purpose of the film. It's like what you interpret, like you say, what was says at the end of the film, almost a la Fulci, which is kind of trippy with House by the Cemetery.
Yeah. Right? You're convinced that Julia's got something to do with all of this.
Yeah.
And then when he just turns the film on its head with, the Father James character, that's what I like. I like a film that can surprise you and not be like
Alison Biggers as Mary Sullivan was she is really good as the killer sister here. There was a scene during the whole birthday scene and stuff like that where she's sitting down where she almost looked like Sam, or not Sam, but almost looked like Father James, where the face almost looked like his. I'm thinking, no. Could they be doing like a Dress to Kill type of situation here or something like that? I don't think. Yeah. Because the way Father James was acting, like he was one of the siblings and all this other stuff too. I'm like going, this is
because when he's revealed to be the killer, then you got Mary who's insane.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
You think Julia's gonna be obviously insane as well.
It's like who was controlling who here? But like I say, it's a family affair, literally. You know, there's that scene where Sam tries to take the axe away from her. You know, I understand that. She's like, easy.
I thought we were going to get the flashback scene, like you said, with Julia, where she disfigures her sister or something.
Yeah.
You know? But it doesn't come
obviously
with
condition and stuff like that. Because I almost thought that's where it was going and stuff like that. He's like,
maybe Sky
make you suffer like I've suffered, you know. So.
But in terms of finding out who the killer is, it's just fucking done, man. There's no build up. He's just like, we know, like when he gets that woman back.
There's the scene in the.
I like it for that, you know.
Yeah, me too. Like I say, there's a scene in the church where he does a sermon and he's talking about family and he's like, he's like, it's really wrong to do that and stuff like that. And I'm smirking. I'm like, they don't say that in Catholic Church. I mean, they don't say that. They don't say that. You know, I thought that was funny. Then he's all nice and stuff like that too. A good killer priest in here, I'll say that. So,
do you know if that guy's played like in any other horror films at all? Is it?
No, I don't think he has. He's done other films and stuff like that too, but no, this is, I think, an only for him.
Oh man, I think you'd have been perfect in playing like a psycho role.
At least Brad Pitt has done horror films. You know what I mean? But it's just these interesting people, even the actors from, like I say, The Burning and stuff like that too. A lot of them didn't do slashers and stuff after this or horror after this. We know why, but I mean, it's like, but anyway, like I say, filmed in Savannah, Georgia, in an actual place. I know Alan lives in Georgia, aka Pop's Movie Dungeon. I wonder if he's been by here. That place still has to be up. That'd be trippy if that place is still there. I think it is an actual funeral home. But very, very cool locations. Like I say, the director, producer of Tentacles and this other stuff too. Beyond the Door. I know Beyond the Door, I think, is Video Nasty too. Oh
god, nothing like this one as well.
The cinematographer, Roberto Piazzoli. He's done other stuff too, but that's all of his shots, like the scene in the mental asylum. You know, seeing her with all the birds, and she runs out, and it looks like there's a wind thing, and it's dark, but there's light on the side there. That is top tier Italian filmmaking. I say, these Italians are different types of cats. So all in all, a great birthday slasher film for during Thanksgiving. So, ladies,
very underrated film. I highly recommend it. This one's definitely a middle tier slasher. Like I wouldn't quite put it up there as a top, but
no, it's middle tier. It's good. It's good. It's a good Italian slasher. American giallo like. It has giallo elements. It's
got giallo elements. It's got
you can just tell. You can tell.
You know,
you can totally tell the way the lighting is, the way everything is. That's a conversation, of course, for another time.
You want to see like a slasher involving a Rottweiler dog, then this is the film for you. Like
this is the film for you. Yeah,
definitely.
Animal, a dog slasher, maybe for Cujo, of course. So
it was. Yeah. So
maybe
that's what give them the King. I don't know what year Stephen King wrote Cujo, but maybe he's seen this as well.
Possibly, or the director of Cujo saw this as well. That's our slasher stream episode 5 review of these two great slashers. I see Weiss came in to say
hey Weiss,
stuff like that. Nice to see you, Weiss.
There's a few that come in. I think Blissful's in.
Blissful is in here as well. Madhouse is its own thing at the same time, though. Can't really compare it to anything else. That fucking scares hilarious. Yeah, it's really funny. Everyone else kind of saying hi, 71. There we go. Bliss, thanks for
hey Blissful
popping in, saying hi. Appreciate that. Love Blissful. She's great.
She's a big supporter of all our channels, really.
That's this is a slasher stream episode 3. We did these two awesome check these both out. If you can find them on Tubi or some streaming service, definitely check these out. I highly recommend both of these. I really do. Death Screams is just a fun time. And, of course, Madhouse. Yeah. It's a great double feature with Happy Birthday to Me. Definitely. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I think if you're a slasher fan in general, then, yeah, I don't think you go far wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
But be warned, like, Death Screams is a little bit slow in places, but it does liven up a lot.
Yeah. Next episode 4, we're going to be talking about these two bad boys right here. I know Darren's
I can't fucking wait for this one.
So Eyes of the Stranger. And Alone in the Dark.
These two are like 2 of my top 10 slashers of all time. They don't quite make my top 3 because my top 3 is The Burning, My Bloody Valentine, and The Funhouse. But these 2 would be in my top 10.
Definitely. So expect that in the next couple weeks, and then expect future content from us crazy slasher dudes, and expect that. What do you have coming up on your channel there, Dan?
So on Saturday night, me and Dirk, we're going to be covering Mario Bava. So we're going to be covering Whip and the Body, Blood and Black Lace, and Black Sabbath.
Hell yes. All bangers of a film. I like the Whip in the Body. That's a great one.
I've still not seen it, so I'm going to be watching that on the next
S&M. State of S&M before, way before a lot of stuff. It's technically kind of the
Dirk
first.
rates that really highly as well as
No,
yourself.
it's way up there. I like it a lot.
So I'm really looking forward, because I like Gothic as well.
Me too. I'm starting to really get into that. Italian Gothic, starting to really get into that. I have that set still to watch, Italian Gothico to watch, and I love The Witch. That's a great Gothic film. So it's going to be very, very cool to dive into those, and that's going to be great reviews on those films. Blood Black Lace, that's the gold standard for giallo in my opinion, so that's going to be great too.
Yeah, I can't wait to dig in. Yeah,
Black Sabbath, the Word of Lack. Yeah, the Word of Lack with Boris Karloff, and of course the phone.
The phone
going to be great stuff. Yeah.
We got something coming up with Uncle Bill as well on Dead Pit. So he does like this Italian, like basically covers Italian directors. So me and Dirk are going to be on to cover Massimo Dallamano. So you've got What Have You Done to Solange and What Have You Done to Your Daughters. That's Sunday night. So I know Chris is off. I don't know if he would be tempted to come on, because I'm sure Uncle Bill would have you on as well.
Okay. But, yeah. Cool. Yeah. That'd be a cool idea. Yeah. Definitely. We'll discuss that off stream. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Just let me know and I can send Chris the link or whatever.
Both of those great films. Italian director taken away from us way too soon. It's always what could have been. He did some bangers. He also did a White Veil for Lisa or a Black Veil for Lisa.
Yeah. Black Veil.
Yeah.
That's one I can revisit.
What Have You Done to Solange is top tier. What Have You Done to Your Daughters is a very good one in my opinion. That's more of a Policio Testi type of a giallo.
There's one I want to see before Sunday if I get the chance, and it's on the Years of Lead set, and it's called, I think it's called 45 or Special Squad or something like that.
Yeah,
it's Dallamano.
Kind of like double sets for the discs. Yeah.
So that's I'm gonna try and get that in before Sunday.
Cool.
We got that. We've got Dead End Driving on Visited by Voices Network. So we've got a show that's been recorded, so that'll be coming up as well.
What
so the one we did now, I got to think now. So
it's Creature of Black Lake, right? That's one. It's Bigfoot films, right? So you're doing that Night of the Demon.
Yeah, we've done those 2 already. Okay. But what we got up coming Tuesday is Don't Answer the Phone, Don't Go in the House, and Don't Look in the Basement. So we're going to cover them 3. So that
we've all seen Don't Go in the House. Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah,
I love it.
We both love that slasher. I have Don't Answer the Phone. That one's out of print by Vinegar Syndrome.
Have you seen Don't Answer the Phone?
I have not. I do have it though.
Oh man! So I'm not gonna spoil it. Really fucking gritty grindhouse type slasher. I think you'll dig it. The killer in it again is brilliant. So
nice.
I won't give it.
Yeah.
I won't give it away too much.
So you got great stuff coming up there.
Tomorrow. Thanks for the plug, like giving the plugs out.
Yeah, very cool. Tomorrow, Friday, calm the hell down. I'm back. Show y'all what's in the bag, everybody. Done playing games, done being nice. Slasher Champ is here, so expect that tomorrow. hopefully Keith will be on with me for that one too. Anybody else want to join, just let me know, and I'll put up a time for that one tomorrow. Also, future content coming up, All the Colors of the Slasher Dude, episode 0. That's going to be done in 2 parts. My top 10 Giallo of all time. Part 1 going to be the first 5, and then part 2 going to be the last 5. So that's going to be a big one for me. Slasher stream, of course, in the next few weeks with Darren. Of course, we'll be talking about these bad boys right here.
Yeah, man, and I mean, I can't wait for that one. I'm gonna go all out for that. Watch every extra, watch every commentary.
Something geeky in the collection with my cohorts there, my fellow geeky cohorts, Jeffrey from John Doe Juggalo. Congrats to him, getting up there in subscriber. He's doing great stuff. And Caveman, definitely. Hopefully, Guy, hope he's doing better and stuff like that. And Reed's been helping him with his content. One of the films I had to watch is Forbidden Planet. Criterion release, old school animated film from the 70s. Can't wait to check that out. I know Jane Doe wants me to watch that one a lot, so expect that coming. So future content. I plan on doing more slash-alongs or Giallo-alongs. I do plan on doing a slash-along of Inferno eventually, Dario Argento's Inferno.
Matt.
Be a discussion as I watch that one too. Yeah. It's a great film. I need to go back to that one. And just future content. And I'll discuss more about the future content I have going on Fridays. So, so a lot of stuff. Just have to set it all up. A lot of stuff going on in my head. So, so it should be pretty good. And so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining. Not too bad. An hour and about 40 minutes into this. We cover some great slashers. I am Chrissy, the Slasher Dude. That's my boy Darren. We will see you all next time. Just do what you do, everybody. Enjoy the weekend coming up, and happy very late Memorial Day. And we will see you all next time. Take care.
Lily, Ramona, Kathy, live for kicks, but someone's killing for kicks. You will feel their terror. You will see their horror. Death screams. Rated R.
Mary. Please, help me get out of here. We can start over. Just the 2 of us.
Our party is just beginning. You can't leave yet.
You're not still afraid of her after all these years? The stories you used to tell.
They were not stories.
And you're frightened? What of?
On her birthday, she had this special ceremony.
Soon it will be our birthday again. Remember how we used to celebrate, sister dear?
No.
Remember what I did? How it hurt? Huh? I will make it hurt again.